Welcome to tonight's News Leader on 6. Today is Tuesday, July 31st, 2018. I'm Andrew Todd. Jim Fuller is on assignment. In tonight's news, Coffee County's local elections along with state primaries will be this Thursday. We speak with Tullahoma Mayor Lane Curley about the new city administrator, and Get Fit Tullahoma has a new event coming up. We'll have all these stories and more on tonight's News Leader on 6.
Russell's got your truck, man. Russell's got your truck.
Keith Barnett here at the Russell Barnett Automotive family, and we have sold so many new trucks. We've got over 100 pre-owned trucks to choose from. Any make, any size, any model. It's as easy as going to russellbarnett.com to check out our pre-owned truck inventory. And remember, why buy your next truck anywhere else?
With the best selection anywhere, Russell's got your truck, man.
The current mayor says he needs 4 more years to clean up the debt he inherited. Really, Gary? The primary obligation during David Pennington's terms was to benefit our schools. The people of Coffee County voted in a referendum to improve and build more schools. Were the people of Coffee County wrong? David Pennington doesn't think so. I support quality schools for our students and teachers. The other debt was from building a new jail. The state of Tennessee mandated that we build a new jail. Was the Coffee County Commission wrong to follow state law? David Pennington doesn't think so. Think of the enormous cost if we'd waited for the state of Tennessee to close our jail. We would have to pay other counties to house our prisoners. Taking care of our schools and our jail was the right thing to do. Vote for the candidate who believes in doing what's right for Coffee County. Vote for David Pennington for Coffee County Mayor.
Welcome back. Local Coffee County elections and the state primaries will be held this coming Thursday. Local races include county mayor, sheriff, county commissioners, road commissioners, constables, county school board seats, county trustee, circuit court clerk, and register of deeds. In the city of Tullahoma, there will also be 2 aldermen and 2 school board members elected. In the city of Manchester, there will be 3 aldermen and 3 school board members elected. And in state primaries, parties will pick their candidates for governor, United States Senate, United States House Representative, Tennessee House Representative, and state executive committee man and committee woman. Polls will open Thursday at 8 a.m. and remain open until 7 p.m. And we will be broadcasting returns on Thursday starting at 7:30 p.m. Yesterday, news leaders Philip Scoggin spoke with Coffee County Election Commission Administrator, Vernita Davis, about what it takes to put together our local election and the early voting turnout.
Here today with Vernita Davis, Administrator of Elections in Coffee County. Can you tell us how elections look for Thursday?
Elections are looking great for Thursday. Early voting is over. It ended Saturday, and as of 12 o'clock noon Saturday, we had 6,074 voters.
Okay, and how does that compare to past elections?
It's a little higher than it was in 2014, which compares to the same election that we're having now. There were just barely over 5,000 for that election, so we gained about 1,000 people.
Okay, well that's great. What time can voters get out on Thursday and start voting?
Okay, the polls will open at 8 o'clock and they will close at 7. And we ask that anyone who comes to vote to please bring their Tennessee state or a federal photo ID with them. If they have their voter registration card, that's great, but it is not necessary to vote.
Okay. And how many precincts are there exactly in the county? 23
precincts scattered across the county. There are 4 Manchester City, 8 Tullahoma City, and the rest of them are rural.
Okay. And how do people, I've heard that the machines have changed this year. Is there a big change, or will the voters mostly notice? Or?
The new machines are wonderful.
Okay.
I have to say, I really am proud that Coffee County has the new voting machines they have. They are a 2-part machine. The first part that the voter will go to is a lot like the old machine as far as being touch screen, but it will print them out a sheet of paper that they can physically in their hand hold, telling them exactly who they voted for. And then they will, before they leave the precinct, they have to scan that through a scanner, and that is what counts their vote.
Okay. Why was there a change, I guess, for the in the machines?
Well, the state is telling us that in 2020 that every state will have to have a paper trail.
Okay.
So this leaves us a paper trail because anything that has to do with state voting or county voting has to be held for 22 months in storage. So these paper ballots these paper ballots that come through that the voter is looking at, they have to be stored in our back room for 22 months. So that way, if there is down the road a court case or something, we still have the ballots to prove that
Okay.
it is what it is.
Paper's probably a little more stable than a computer chip to
Yes.
stack away just in case.
So
Okay. And so your position, I'm just curious, I've never seen your name on the ballot. Are you an appointed position or do you have to run occasionally?
I am appointed. I am appointed. I have a commission made up of five people right now. It's 3 Republican and 2 Democrat commissioners, and I am appointed. And I'm appointed every 2 years, the first week in April, in odd years.
Okay.
So really, I'm here just 2 years at a time. But I have been in the election commission. I started in 1995, and so but I have been the administrator for 8 years now.
Okay. And how do you get the returns from the polls? Are they sent in some way, or how does that happen?
The poll workers has to bring them in. They're on a thumb drive, so they after the polls close and they shut down the machines, then they get the thumb drive from the machines and they bring them in securely. It takes 2 poll workers to bring them in. And then we have a computer in the back room that we plug them all in, and it automatically gets the totals off of the thumb drives.
Okay. Now, I remember last year there was a little hiccup with the system. Do you remember what happened with that, or why things were delayed a little bit?
There was a case that the computer in the old machines, we had a file that we had to rename.
Okay.
Right in the middle of getting the returns, and whenever we renamed that file, it didn't hold. I mean, we just took the same file name and added a 2 to the end of it, and it did not save it. And so then we had to go back and rename it again and
figure out what it was.
Then it worked.
Okay. All right. So with the new system, you won't have to do that anymore?
No.
Okay. All right, great.
No.
Okay. Well, thank you very much for speaking to us.
Thank you.
Hopefully everything goes smoothly on Thursday night.
I hope so too.
Thanks.
Looking forward to it.
And once again, our election coverage will begin Thursday at 7:30 p.m. We'll be right back with more News Leader after these messages.
When your family suffers the loss of a loved one, the caring and compassionate staff at Tullahoma Funeral Home and Coffee County Funeral Chapel are standing by to assist you in every way possible. We are proud to support local industry and offer only Batesville caskets. Many funeral homes don't own or operate a crematory. We utilize the only crematory in Coffee County. Your loved one never leaves Coffee County. We can accommodate any need and any budget. Consider our complete pre-need service to remove this burden from your family during their time of grief. Lock in today's low costs and protect from inflation. Tullahoma Funeral Home and Coffee County Funeral Chapel. Our family caring for your family.
Hello, I'm Gary Cordell, your Coffee County Mayor. I want to speak to you personally about the commitment I made to the citizens of Coffee County 4 years ago, that if elected, I would serve our county with honor and integrity. I pledged to work hard, to give 100%, to be effective and efficient in managing your county resources. I want to take this opportunity to assure the citizens of Coffee County that our county's financial condition is much stronger now than it was 4 years ago. We've had no property tax increase in the last 4 years, and our operating reserve fund balance has tripled. The most important question you must ask yourself when you walk into the voting booth is simply, who's best qualified to lead our county forward at this critical time? I have over 40 years of business, management, and leadership experience to best lead Coffee County. Much has been accomplished in the last 4 years, but we've only just begun. Coffee County, let's stay on track. I would appreciate your vote in the August 2nd general election. Thank you.
100 vehicles under $15,000 at 5 locations, both Tullahoma and Winchester. Keith Barnett here at the Russell Barnett Automotive Family, and new car sales have been so great. We have a huge selection of pre-owned inventory. Do you have a trade? Maximum trade allowance going on right now. 100 vehicles under $15,000, maximum trade-in allowance. Best website in the business at russellbarnett.com. And remember, why buy anywhere else?
Welcome back. Tom Corrington recently spoke with Tullahoma Mayor Lane Curley about the selection of Tullahoma's new city administrator.
A little bit of controversy kicked up over the final selection of the city administrator, and so we want to talk to the mayor a little bit about that. He was in the middle of that. And Lane, let me start by asking you to just explain to the folks what the process was that we go through to recruit somebody like the city administrator.
Sure. We ask for help from an organization called MTAS, Municipal Technical Advisory Service. It's part of UT's University of Tennessee system. They provide that service at no charge to communities, and they provide lots of services. This is just one small piece of what they do.
But you had locally a 5-member committee.
That's correct.
Yeah.
And so I met with a young lady named Hannah Rogers, and she's the MTAS consultant for this area. And so we talked about a number of different scenarios as to how to go about doing this, but yes, one of the things that we talked about was for each of the aldermen to suggest someone that had some degree of management or leadership experience that would agree to volunteer their time through this process. And so that was done. There were 5 people selected, all good people, all honorable people, proud of the group. And so then the next step was to advertise this, and that was done, and collected, I'm thinking, close to 50 applications.
45,
some number of applications from people, some very qualified, some not qualified, as is typically the case when you advertise. And so the 5-person group went through that group, and they narrowed it, and then they selected. My recollection is about half a dozen people. They did video interviews.
Right.
Several of the people were from out of state, so they did video interviews, and then they narrowed that group to 3 or 4 people. And so that's generally how the process worked. And
that 3 or 4 did not include Chief Blackwell.
That's correct. And I put him in the group. I felt as though we had asked him to serve as the interim city administrator several months earlier. He had done an excellent job. He had done everything asked of him and more, frankly. He suggested several initiatives. He did all that was expected of him and more. I felt as though it would frankly be an insult to him if we didn't at least give him the opportunity to interview amongst the group of the aldermen. And so the mayor and the aldermen are the decision makers, okay? And so that's what I did. I simply put him in that group to be interviewed.
That group had 2 folks from Florida.
Correct.
And you decided to eliminate them on the basis of what, logistics and culture or something like that. So what was the deal there?
Sure. I made a mistake early on by not telling Hannah Rogers, the young lady that helped, that I was only interested in regional candidates. If someone from Florence, Alabama had made the top list, that would have been fine with me. Or Loudon, Kentucky, or Morristown, Tennessee, or Forest City, Arkansas. That was fine with me.
Somewhere bordering, huh?
Absolutely. I mean, because they understand. You know, I felt as though they would understand, Tennessee better than someone from Southern Florida.
So you wound up with 2 candidates, Chief Blackwell and the young lady from Murfreesboro.
Jennifer Moody.
And then the chief had the insight of the good grace, I'm not sure what, but anyway, he decided to withdraw. So you wound up with one candidate from Murfreesboro who was everybody felt was eminently qualified, and you went ahead and presented her to the board.
That's correct. Right.
And she was unanimously
selected
approved.
by acclamation. That's correct. And so we're in the process now of negotiating the employment contract with her. And hopefully that will be resolved in the next week or two. And she will start sometime, probably the end of August. She needs to turn in a notice to her current employer. She's excited about Tullahoma. She is somewhat familiar with Tullahoma. So she's looking forward to the work here. And I think she'll do an excellent job.
Yeah.
And I've told her so. I told her point blank, I will do everything I can as mayor for her to be successful as city administrator.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
It's not invoice. It's not MSRP. It's not Christmas Day, although it may feel like it. It's the lowest prices in Middle Tennessee, period. Get to Stan McNabb Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram or Stan McNabb Chevrolet Buick GMC Cadillac before these prices are gone forever.
All right, the cat's out of the bag at Carroll Street Liquor in Tullahoma. Now you know where to go if you're planning a get-together and want the ideal wine or spirit. Party planning can be stressful, but at Carroll Street Liquor you'll find everything you need. Mixers, gift sets, and all of your favorite spirit brands. So if you're feeling the pressure to pull off the ideal party, come to Carroll Street Liquor and select among the seemingly endless supply of wines, spirits, gift sets, and more. Your perfect party, it's in the bag with Carroll Street Liquors.
Welcome back. Tullahoma's Northgate Mall will be hosting the Great Cupcake War and Sugar and Spice and Everything Nice Food and Shopping Fair presented by Trevecca Nazarene University this Saturday morning. Cupcake judging will take place from 9 until 10 a.m. and winners announced at 11:30. But you can purchase cupcakes from the competitors starting at 11 o'clock. Food trucks will be at the mall entrances and lots of arts and crafts dealers will be interspersed with the fabulous cupcakes. The winner of the cupcake competition will showcase their cupcakes at Healing on the Hill on August 25th. All proceeds go to Partners for Healing to continue their mission of providing compassionate health care and nurturing for the working uninsured of Coffee, Franklin, and Moore counties. We spoke with Winston Brooks and Lyle Russell about Mayor Curley's latest chapter of Get Fit Tullahoma's walking program.
Starting in September, we're going to be doing a walk program. We're going to walk the full length of the Appalachian Trail, 2,158 miles from Springer Mountain, Georgia, all the way to Mount Katahdin in Maine.
I know we've had a lot of walking programs over the years. Has anybody ever walked that many miles yet?
Yeah, we're actually pretty close. Right behind me here is the Walk to the Beach finishing chart, and the team that won that one walked 1,982 miles. So they weren't far off. It's a reachable goal.
So we're upping the challenge of that.
Yes.
Okay, well, what do people need to know about how to sign up and get involved with this?
So starting on August 20th, we have a online registration through JotForm that we'll be putting out there, and teams can register up to 6 people to go out and walk and record their miles. There's other exercises they can do in place of that. They can also do some aerobics, bicycling, swimming, and we have a chart that we'll give out to all the teams that will convert their time in those exercises into miles that they can use for the program.
Okay. All right, Winston, I know you're trying to get sponsors to help fund this. What do they need to do to get involved?
That's right. Well, we are excited about this new program, Walk the Appalachian Trail. It's the 5th in a series of walk programs that was started by Mayor Curley and his Get Fit initiative, and we're just trying to help Tullahoma become a healthier Tennessee community, and this is just another way that we're doing that. And so this is a great opportunity to be a sponsor of this program and position your business as a fitness leader in our community. And as you can see behind me on the Walk to the Beach program, some of the sponsorships. So if you sign up to be a $100 sponsor, you'll have your logo on all the publicity. We'll have digital media, print media, and you'll be helping to provide the prizes and the after party that's going to be October 18th here at D.W. Wilson. It's always a ton of fun. We have a live band and all kinds of cool prizes. Yeah. So be watching for an email about sponsorship opportunities.
Okay. Now, do other communities have things like this? Are we competing against Franklin or any towns like that?
Well, so we are one of the few Healthier Tennessee communities in southern and middle Tennessee. Franklin is one of them, but we're not competing directly with them, but that's a great idea. I like that. We'll call up Mayor Moore and see if he wants to have a competition. That's not a bad idea for the next time. Maybe this time we can work it out.
Absolutely.
Appalachian Trail.
Absolutely. All right, well, thanks. Anything else you need to let our viewers know about the competition?
One thing I do want to mention too is please get your teams together and sign up. You can go to facebook.com/Tullahoma Parks and go to the event section and get your team signed up. And one of the fun parts of this is picking your team name. So on the chart behind me from Walk Across Tennessee, some of the names there were like Street Walkers or
We've had some really good ones.
Red Hot Chili Steppers.
Yeah, Walk to the Beach had the big kahunas. They had some pretty good ones.
The team names are very creative, so one of the fun parts of this program.
The more creative, the better, and we may even have a prize for it. We'll have everyone vote on what's the most creative team name, just for fun.
Okay. And then once the program starts September 4th, then there will be weekly walks as well. So it's mostly an individual type team program, but then once a week there is a group activity.
Okay. Can you check online and see how you're faring against other teams during the competition, or do you have to wait till the end?
You can. Every week the team captains will report their miles to me, and within a couple of days of everyone reporting, I'll be giving an emailed newsletter that will go out to all the team members. It will have the standings, it'll have some history and milestones along the trail. It'll tell them how far they've gone, what state they're in, or what part of the trail, what historical moment they've hit in their walking venture so far. And also in the newsletter too, to touch on the sponsorships, we also include all of the sponsors in the newsletter. There's a lot of good information in there too. On the after party that comes up, we're going to do it at the indoor pool this year. I just booked the band today, so they're excited to play, and it's going to be a lot of fun.
Okay. All right, and tell me one more time how and when you need to sign up.
We're going to start the sign-ups on August 20th, and the easiest way to do it is to give us a call here at Parks and Recreation at 455-1121. We'll take care of getting you the information to sign up, and then all you have to do is show up and walk.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
We'll be right back after these messages.
All I have to do to think about what I was physically before and what I am now, and I don't ever want to go back to that original situation.
The overall mission of the rehab team is always what is best for the patient and how we can facilitate maximum potential from every resident.
Well, the most important thing to me is that I'm allowed to do whatever I want to do,
Everyday miracles at Life Care Center of Tullahoma.
We're losing it, doctor.
Not on my shift. Quickly, brush. Roller.
What a transformation. It's gonna be okay.
Okay, nothing.
At Paintworks of Tullahoma, we specialize in domestic emergencies with Martin Senior Paints. You can be the paint doctor too when you treat your home with Martin Senior interior and exterior finishes.
Doctor, we've got another one.
Got you covered.
Paintworks of Tullahoma. Come see the paint doctor, Stat.
Cool off at Southern Middle Tennessee's newest water park, Tullahoma's Splash Island. Fun for all ages. 3 25-foot water slides, lazy river, fun water features for toddlers, tasty food items available. All this and more, only $5 from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. or 4 to 9 p.m. Sundays 1 to 6. Join the fun at Tullahoma's Splash Island.
Welcome back. Tullahoma and Coffee County schools start back tomorrow. We all need to remember to watch out for the children in the morning and remember to slow down for school zones. Jim Fuller spoke with Interim Police Chief George Marsh about Tullahoma Police cruising the school zones to remind everyone that schools are back open.
Wednesday.
Yeah. People need to be aware of that, and I guess you might have a tendency to forget that especially if you don't have kids.
For some reason, we forget that our children here in Tullahoma do not have a bus routes. Mm-hmm. There's no bus running through Tullahoma, so they're walking and they're riding their bicycles to school and from school to home. Mm-hmm. We just need to be more cognizant of it and be aware and pay attention to these kids as they're trying to cross the street. They're from ages from kindergarten on up, so some of them are not that experienced in crossing the streets. So just pay more attention to them.
And that's that's why I would imagine that the speed limit is 15 miles an hour in the school zones, I think, for the most part, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
We're going to be very aggressive, especially in those school zones coming up, especially when you start off the school year. Just a reminder to get folks back into the habit. So these kids being on the streets in the mornings and in the afternoons.
Right. And it's awful easy. I know I was cruising through the high school one morning, and I'm thinking, why are all these people going this slow? It was shortly after the transition, and I looked around, and then it hit me. Well, it's a school zone, and I'm doing 30, and everybody else is doing 15. So it's something you really need to pay attention to, because I know no one wants to hurt a child or anything like that. But however, the fines for that, if you don't go by that law, are pretty steep.
They're steep. It's $165.
Right.
And that's pretty steep. But the alternative, we're just keeping those children safe in those zones. It's not that far of a zone to have to drive through.
Right.
There's not very extended zones here, so it's just take a few minutes. Allow yourself some extra time in the mornings and the afternoons if you're going to be traveling to those school zones. Just be ready to slow down and pay attention to these kids. They could jot across the street at any time.
Absolutely.
Just pay attention.
And stay with us. We'll have your weather forecast right after these messages. So you've been meaning to do something healthy, commune with nature, get outdoors and meet new people. We have the perfect solution. Come hike with us. You can find a Tennessee Trails Association chapter near you, including Clarksville, Columbia Franklin, Highland Rim, Jackson, Knoxville, Oak Ridge, Memphis, Murfreesboro, Nashville, Plateau at Crossville, and Upper Cumberland. We're on the web at TennesseeTrails.org. It's fun, it's stress-free, and it's good for you. See you on the trails. Welcome back. We'll start today's weather forecast by looking back at today's weather history. Our record high was in 1942 at 99 degrees, the record low in 1965 at 52 degrees. The average high for this day is 88 and the average low is 67. Tonight's weather is cloudy with a chance of rain and a low of 68. For Wednesday, a 40% chance of rain with a high of 84 and a low of 68. And looking ahead to Thursday, a 30% chance of rain with a high of 85 and a low of 67. And that's our News Leader report for this evening. We invite you to join us each Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday at 6, 8, and 10 for News Leader on 6. Have a great evening.